With the debate over the Trump administration's zero-tolerance immigration policy at a fever pitch, President Trump vowed to outcry over family separations at the border and signed an executive order ending the practice. But what is the overall immigration law in the U.S., and how did we get to this point? Here are the facts. Let's start at the border. USA Today's Rick Jervis is there.
Right behind me, you could see, is the Rio Grande River, and that's where a lot of immigrants cross to get into Texas and get into the U.S. Because of the zero tolerance policy, they've been separating a lot of the families. Under U.S. law, they have to separate families who are being charged with a criminal offense, and that's what's happening now. They're literally charging everybody coming over the border illegally with a federal misdemeanor, and thus having to separate families.
Past presidents, including George W. Bush and Barack Obama, never prioritized prosecuting illegal border crossings because to them, the thought of separating children from parents was inhumane. President Trump initially agreed with this overall notion, but White House senior advisor Stephen Miller didn't. Miller pushed the idea of zero tolerance for illegal immigrants arriving with or without children. Because of this, parents were placed in the criminal justice system to face charges while their children were left in detention centers.
And these laws are the same that have been on the books for over a decade, and the president is simply enforcing them.
Between April 19th and May 31st, about 2,000 migrant children were separated from their parents at the border, leading to harrowing scenes many have compared to animal shelters. Kids can actually be heard crying out for their parents in this audio obtained by ProPublica. Trump's new executive order comes despite his earlier claim that the crisis was caused by an ironclad law and could not be reversed without cooperation from Democrats.
But we're going to keep the families together. I didn't like the sight or the feeling of families being separated.
The order, drafted by Homeland Security Secretary Christian Nielsen, directed her department to keep families together after they are detained crossing the border illegally. But for children who were detained, what happens to them? The children are placed in an existing network of 100 privately run shelters scattered across 14 states. As of June, there were about 11,000 minors in U.S. government custody. Federal law states children can't be held in detention centers indefinitely. Within 72 hours, unaccompanied alien children are required by law to be sent to the Department of Health and Human Services Office of Refugee Resettlement. There, officials seek the nearest relative or foster family until the child can be reunited with their parents. If no guardian is found, the agency keeps the child in the shelter. Existing shelters are now overflowing. To combat this, the Trump administration is looking to expand to military bases in Texas for additional temporary shelter. Officials have considered building tent cities at military facilities that would house between 1,000 to 5,000 people at any given time. Meanwhile, lawmakers continue to battle over something that has eluded them for years: comprehensive immigration reform.